Hey everyone, and welcome to this channel. In today's video, we'll see how to design a pizza order app using Figma. So, without further ado, let's get started. Before we begin this tutorial, let's go in the description down below of this video and download the exercise file. Now, after downloading the exercise file and open it in Figma, you'll find all the assets we need to create our tutorial. Alright, and in this file, we'll create our prototype. So the first thing we're gonna need is to create a new page. Let's rename it prototype. Alright, and we'll start by prototyping this component, the carousel, and changing the title and the price once we drag a pizza. So this is our main interactive component of this prototype. All right, now to do that, let's go to my assets page and let's select the plate, the leaves, and all the pizza. Command C to copy and Command V to paste in our prototype page. Now I'm gonna create a new frame that has approximately the size of the plate. Maybe it will be 450 by 450. So let's select the plate and the leaves and drag it inside our frame. Next, let's remove clip content and select it so we can see what happened outside of our frame, and rename this frame pizza. All right, now select all my 4 pizza frames. Let's make sure it's selected from this. Click and drag inside the frame in a way that the first pizza will be on top of my plate. All right, let me rename this. Let's rename just frame for the moment. All right, now let's go ahead and hit Command C and Command V and duplicate the main frame. All right, now select all 4 pizza and move them to the left side, so the second pizza will be superposed over the plate perfectly. Next, let's go to rotate, and let's rotate my pizza 90 degrees. All right, this way all the pizza will be rotated. Next, select the leaf and the plate layer and also rotate it 15 degrees. All right, maybe 10 degrees. Rotate it slightly. So we're gonna create some kind of parallax effect. Then let's duplicate again and let's move all my pizza so the third one will be on top of the plate, and let's make a rotation of the 180 degrees, and also for the plate and the leaf 20 degrees. So for every frame we are doubling the rotation value. select the 4 pizza, and this will be our last carousel screen. And let's rotate this minus 90 degree, and for the plate and the leaves 30 degree. All right, now we're gonna connect all those frame, but first thing, select the main frame and hit clip content so we don't have distraction. All right, now let's go to prototype, select the pizza layer, as you can see the pizza layer, and connect it with the second frame, and let's select on drag. Let's go with gentle 800 millisecond, and it's smart animate. All right, let's select the second pizza layer and connect it with the third frame, on drag, and keep everything in default so Figma will understand our last settings, so you don't have to change anything. Next, select the third pizza and connect it with the fourth frame. All right, on drag and gentle. Now we're gonna go back. So once we drag from right to left, we'll see our pizza rolling like that. Now to make the opposite effect, we'll go from bottom to top. So let's select let's select this last pizza connected with the precedent frame, on drag. All right, also for the third frame and for the fourth frame, on drag. Make sure that it's on drag and not on click. All right, now let's go and hit this flow and let's test our slider or carousel. All right, so if we drag our pizza roll to the left and to the right. All right, and also as you can see there is slight rotation of my plate. That works great. Now keep your frame selected and remove the fill. So let's remove the fill one by one. We don't need the fill color. All right, and next select all the frame and create a component set. Rename it carousel. So in this way we'll be maybe we'll rename this. Let's rename this property 1. We'll rename it whatever you want, just the name must not be doubled in each variable, but we have created this all those variables, so we don't have to work with a lot of screens in our prototype. All right, so the next thing, we're gonna create a new frame. Let's pick iPhone 14 and 15 Pro Max. All right, but before that, let's select this and let's give it the 600 width or height, excuse me, 700 or 600 height. right? And let's, I made a mistake. I forgot the title. I forgot this to include the title and the price in my carousel. So we're gonna add it super easily. Just select the layers just inside, not the outside main frame. So hit the command and select one layer each time. So we select all the layers and move them to the center of each layer, so we can give some space to our titles and price. Now this is my price and my title. Let's select the two, Command C and Command V here. All right, this is outside. Let's move this frame. Let's remove it for now. Now, as you can see, this component is composed of a description and a title. And the title, if we remove this clip content, we have 4 titles hidden inside my frame. Each title is for one kind of pizza. All right. Also for my description, we have 4 description. So to create this effect of, the title will roll over, we have to, add all the title inside one frame, and then in each variant we'll change the title layer. Also for the price, we have, let me zoom here, we have all the digit from 0 to 9. Also for this, all right, and also for the third digit. So it is simple. Whenever we want to change the price, we'll show the right digit inside each frame, and then you'll see how Figma auto animate will do the animation for us. All right, so let's add the title inside my first component. All right, and hit Command C and select the second variant, and Command V for the third one, and select and Command V. Let's go in Carousel and let's hit the resize to fit. All right, now let's change the title of each pizza. The first one, we'll keep it Napolitano 550. The second one, we'll select the title, select all 4 layers inside the titles, and move down until we reveal the second layer. All right, this is the second layer. Also for my description, select the 4 layers inside the frame and move it slightly until we show up the second layer, and we hide the first layer. All right, we'll do that also for the third pizza. This time we'll show the third layer of the title, and as you can see, this concept is really simple, and you can change the name whatever you want, and you'll have that effect you saw in the prototype. So let's go and reveal the last layer because I am in the last pizza. Now for my price, I'm gonna change the first price. Let's go to the first digit and select all the 9 layers or 10 layers from 0 to 10, and let's move to 750. And for this, let's change that the second. And as you can see in my layers, I'm always selecting all the layers and move them all simultaneously. 570, let's make it 670. All right. All right. And for the last one, I will change just the first digit, 850. Now let's go to prototype. First, because it is a component, we need to create a new frame. Go to assets. In the prototype page, let's click and drag. And as you can see, all those layers and everything is hiding. We can use it as a single component, and this way we'll have much more space to create other things and other animation on top of that. So you'll see later, all right, in this tutorial. So let me just use this preview. Let's click and drag, and you see my animation. The title, the price, the pizza works like a charm. All right, this was the most difficult and complicated part of this tutorial. Now we'll move to the fun part. Let's go and select a frame, iPhone 14 and 15, and let's build our screen. Let's move this here. All right, remove this, hit the key, and scale it down. All right, make sure it is centered. And now let's go and add, let's go to my buttons. So this is the size of the pizza buttons. Those 3 buttons will serve us to make this effect. We change the size of my pizza. So hit Command C and Command V. Let's position them like that. And then let's go and pick this topping component. So this topping component is a simple frame, circle, a circular frame, and there is 3 images of tomatoes, pepperoni, and cheese that are positioned in the edge. So why I put them inside the frame? So I want to create this rotation effect. All right, so once I click inside, like that, if I click in a image, the image will rotate. So in order to do that, you must put them inside a frame. So all the frame will rotate and not change the position one by one. This will be a lot of work. So let's go copy and pass it on top. Then let's go to frame and move it under carousel. All right, let's move it to right and center it. And the last component is our button. Let's put it on the bottom of our frame. All right, and make sure the constraints are top center. All right, top center. And this will be all right, top center, top center. All right. So when our frame grow, everything will keep in the center of the frame. Now we'll start by creating this effect. Let's go back of small M and L pizza, changing the size of my component. So let's duplicate 2 times our screen. Oh, this screen, or maybe, well, this screen will be the large, the middle will be that. So hit the K and change the size of the component for about 0.9, and this will be the smallest pizza, right, 0.85. So hit the K key or the scale tool and scale it down. Now select all the components and center it relatively to each other. All right, now let's go and play with the buttons. For the S button, we'll make it activated. So let's go and change its color to green. And this will be a gray color because we are in the S screen. And let's rename this frame S, and this M, and this L. All right, now for the M screen, let's change the button. I mean, the concept of all that, it looks complicated, but it's really simple to make it after we see all the technique behind it. All right, so that's done for my screen. Now let's create the effect. Let's go to prototype and select the M button. Once we click on the M, we'll go to that screen, and we click the L, we'll go to the large screen. So first, let's go M to the M screen. Let's change Smart Animate, and let's make it bouncy and 600 milliseconds. All right, and for the L, let's go to the L screen and click and keep the same settings. Now here we connect the S with the S and the L with the L screen, and here the S with the S screen and the M with the M screen. All right, this should work. So let's go and test it. So if I click, boom, it will resize. All right, let's move our pizza. All right, that's great. Now let's go and create this topping effect. Well, in order to create that, let's go to design, assets. Let's take here my components of tomato, cheese, or maybe let's go to assets. In the assets, here are my components. So I'm gonna put all my components on top of the first screen like that. Put them all on top, and let's hit the K and scale it up. So you're gonna see the effect. This should create the effect of the topping coming from the top. So let's go and create a blur effect for some depth of field. Let's give it 10, a value of 10, layer blur, and let's go to layer pass or layer opacity, and give it 0 so we don't see them. This is the default screen. So now copy and paste the topping layers inside each screen. All right. Now let me duplicate all those 3 screens, and let's start by creating the first topping effect of putting tomatoes over my pizza. So let's select here the S screen. Let's start with the S screen, and here I have my tomatoes. So let's go pass through 100, and here I have a variant S. I remove the blur, put that on the top. All right, so I changed the variant from L to S and reposition it on the top. All right, also for this, let's select the tomatoes, remove first, let's reveal it 100% opacity, and remove the layer blur, and also change from L to S. This variant, as you can see here in the assets, each component has 2 variants, the L and the S. All right, so the S will be on top of the pizza, and the L will, be superposed on top of all the screens, so we can have this effect of the topping coming from the top. All right, like thrown from the top. Let's go and do that for the last screen. And you can resize, hit the K key and resize the topping for each pizza, so we'll have realistic effect. All right, now let's go and duplicate, but before that we should change the size of our tomatoes inside each screen. Let's select the first tomatoes and scale its size to maybe here the width to 100. Make sure it is 100. 100. And 100. All right. So once we click, the tomatoes will grow. All right. Now let's duplicate again all the 3 screens. move them to the bottom. And now let's hide the tomatoes and let's reveal the cheese component. So all those three screens will be for cheese topping. So let's go and give it opacity of 100, and let's change from L to S and remove layer blurs and reposition it on top, scale it down and zoom in. All right, something like that. All right, also for the second screen, let's give it 100 opacity. Let's hide the tomato layers. Maybe let's give it 0 opacity layers. Also here, let's give it 0. And also here, let's keep it like that. Let's go back and change the component. Maybe let's make sure it's the cheese layer is selected, and remove the layer and scale it down so it will fit the size of the pizza. And now for the last screen, let's change this, move layers as variants and reposition it on top. Now as you can see, there is some work to do manually, but it is the way I find that this is the simplest way to do it. Now let's go here and resize this to 80. Also this tomato to 80. And this one to 80. Now let's go and rotate, select all the three screens. Let's go to the rotation and rotate. So the cheese screen will be set on the center. Now select this screen and or the cheese layer, and let's put the value of rotation to 0 and 100 width. All right, let's center also for that. 0, 100, center, and 0, 100, and center. All right. So this is for our cheese. Now let's create Command C and Command V for the last topping, which is pepperoni. So I'm gonna start with this buttons. Let's go back to 80. So 80 width. Now rotate. So the pepperoni will be in the center. We can rotate it 50 degrees. And let's change the size of the pepperoni to 100 width and center it. All right. And now let's change the topping. Let's go and hide, give it for our cheese 0 layer opacity And let's reveal our pepperoni 100 as remove layer blur and position it to the top. Make sure it doesn't go inside a frame. You can move the component with the arrows of your keyboard. Also for this screen, 0 for my cheese and 100 opacity for the pepperoni. Remove the blur and the S. Go back. Sometimes your components will slip inside another frame and it will disappear, so you make sure it doesn't happen. So cheese 0 and pepperoni 100 opacity as variant, remove layer blur and let's move it on top. All right, let's hit the K and resize it. All right, now after building all those screens, so we have 12 screen. Let's go and start do the magic of prototyping. So here, please focus with me so you don't make a mistake. All right, so we're gonna connect all those buttons with all those screen and you'll see the spaghetti effect of all those arrows that we'll see in every prototype out there. All right, so let's go one step each time. So let's go and select the tomatoes of the default screen and let's connect it with the S screen. All right, so what we have here, let's go and change gentle smart animate 800 milliseconds. All right, next let's select this tomato and connect it with the tomato screen. Also this with that. All right, now let's go and test it so we didn't make any mistake. So if I click, all right, I have my topic. If I click back, nothing happened. So if I click back, so I'm gonna connect this screen activated tomatoes to the get back to the back screen or the default screen. Select and connected. Select and connect with its screen. All right, now if we go back, if we click can we go back to the default screen. All right, also if we change a pizza, we'll have the same effect over each pizza. That's great. Now let's go with our pepperoni. Select pepperoni from the default screen and connect it to the last screen, which is the pepperoni screen. Keep the same settings. Also select this pepperoni from the tomato screen and let's go and connect it. So each pepperoni inside each screen will be connected with the main topic screen. All right, so this way, whatever screen we are, we can navigate through a screen from those 12 screens. All right, so as you can see, it starts to be complicated, but you know, it is just, you know, the Figma way of doing it. So here in the pepperoni screen, I want to go back. Once I select in the pepperoni, the activated one, I want to go back to the default screen. So the pepperoni will be removed from my pizza, you know. Now let's go to the middle screen and let's connect it with that. Also for that screen, let's connect it like that. You mustn't forget any layers so you don't have, you know, you can be blocked inside a screen and you cannot navigate to the screen you want once you are in the prototype. All right, here we go back to default. And also for large, let's connect it to this. You know, because we have so much effect. You know, we have 3 sizes, we have a carousel, and we have 3 toppings. This is, you know, a lot of connection. All right. And also don't forget, this tomatoes must be connected to the main tomato screen. All right. Also this, that. So let's connect this. Hopefully we have done the job the right way. So let's go and connect the cheese with the cheese screen. If you have some difficulty selecting a layers, you can hit the Command or Control key and select the layer. Alright, and from my cheese, I'm gonna connect it to the default. From the main cheese screen to the default screen. So I will remove the topping. Alright. So let's go and test. So let's go to the M screen. Let's add some tomatoes or maybe pepperoni or cheese. All right. So as you can see, it works like a charm. Let's change the size. All right. Also, we can change the pizza. Remove this and change your pizza. And add a topping. Change the size and add to cart. All right. That was everything for our prototype. Let's go to present. And here we can add a device. Let's go with iPhone 15 Pro Max, and let's change this to green. And let's go here and change to fit screen, and here you have a full prototype that you can show to your clients or put it in your portfolio. Right, we have a problem here. All right, when I am in the tomato screen, I need to click on the pepperoni. Right, let's go to the tomato screen. All right, in the middle, you can see I didn't connect it. I didn't connect it. Well, it's connected. Yeah, it's connected to the cheese. All right, let's go back. So that was everything, guys, for today's tutorial. Please don't forget to hit a like or a subscribe. This will boost the channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in another tutorial.